All right, let's pull back the curtain because the story we're being sold about Tom Holland's on-set accident is one of the most blatant pieces of corporate damage control I have ever seen. It's a perfectly polished press release designed to do one thing: make a catastrophic problem seem like a minor hiccup. You see the words mild concussion and abundance of caution, and you're supposed to move on. But we're not going to do that. Today we're going to treat this not as a celebrity gossip item, but as the crisis it truly is. Because that one miscalculated stunt on September 19th didn't just rattle an actor, it sent a seismic shockwave through the highest levels of Disney and Sony. It put the future of Hollywood's biggest franchise on a knife's edge, and it may have permanently altered the life and career of Tom Holland. The smiling photos and reassuring statements are a facade. The reality is much darker, more complex, and frankly, far more terrifying. This isn't just a story about an injury, it's about the brutal, bone-crushing machinery of Hollywood and the human price it demands. Let's start by painting a truly accurate picture of what a modern Marvel set is like. It's less of a film set and more of a military operation. Hundreds of crew members, a budget north of $250 million, and a schedule planned down to the second. Every single day of filming costs a fortune. We're talking figures that can easily exceed $500,000 a day. In this high-pressure environment, safety is supposed to be paramount. There are stunt coordinators, safety officers, and layers of protocol. And at the center of it all is Tom Holland, the crown jewel asset, the man whose face sells billions in tickets and merchandise. He's strapped into a complex wire rig, a spiderweb of high-tensile cables controlled by a computer, and a team of stunt professionals. He's about to perform an acrobatic maneuver for the 100th time in his career. The call for action rings out. For a few seconds, everything is perfect. The fluid motion, the heroic pose, and then, in a fraction of a second, the physics goes wrong. A cable snags, a computer miscalculates the velocity, or his body twists at an unnatural angle. We'll never get the official technical report, but eyewitness whispers describe a sickeningly audible impact, a body hitting a surface it was never meant to touch, followed by an immediate and profound silence from the entire crew. The director's voice is gone, the grips freeze, and all eyes lock onto their fallen star. That is the moment the chaos begins. Not screaming and panic, but the cold, calculated panic of a multi-billion-dollar enterprise grinding to a halt. The on-set medics rush in, and the first call isn't to his family, it's to the producers and the studio heads. The machinery of crisis management kicks in before he's even on his feet. Now, we have to talk about the term they deliberately chose: mild concussion. This is not a medical term. It is a public relations weapon. Let me be clear, there is no such thing as a mild brain injury. A concussion is, by definition, a traumatic brain injury. I want you to understand what's happening inside the skull. The brain, which is the consistency of soft gelatin, violently impacts the hard, bony interior. This can bruise the brain tissue, damage nerve cells, and disrupt normal brain function. Let's go deeper. Grade 1 concussions might involve transient confusion but no loss of consciousness. Grade 2 involves longer confusion and amnesia. Grade 3 involves a loss of consciousness. The studio not specifying the grade is intentional ambiguity. But the real terror isn't the initial impact, it's the aftermath. Post-concussion syndrome, PCS, can linger for months, even years. Symptoms include crippling migraines, vertigo so bad you can't stand up, and excruciating sensitivity to light that makes being on a film set impossible, and severe cognitive fog that makes memorizing a single line of dialogue a Herculean task. And that's just the physical side. Concussions can fundamentally alter a person's personality, leading to depression, anxiety, and unpredictable mood swings. For an actor celebrated for his charm and affability, this is a terrifying prospect. So when the studio says he'll be back in a few days, they are either dangerously ignorant of modern neurology, or they are willfully lying to protect their investment. And given the money at stake, you can guess which one is more likely. This financial angle cannot be overstated. When an A-list star like Tom Holland is incapacitated, it triggers a financial domino effect of catastrophic proportions. Every film of this magnitude is backed by something called a completion bond, which is essentially a massive insurance policy that guarantees the film will be finished no matter what. When Tom got hurt, the executives at that insurance company, likely a firm like Chubb or Alliance, would have been on the phone with the studio's lawyers within the hour. Their own team of medical experts would demand access to every single one of Tom's test results. They are now in control. They, not the director, will ultimately decide when Tom is medically cleared to work. If he returns too soon and gets injured again, the insurance company could be on the hook for tens of millions of dollars, or they could even pull the plug on the policy altogether, effectively killing the movie. The studio is now at the mercy of its insurers. This is why the PR has to be so aggressive. They need to project an image of a minor, quickly resolving issue to keep the insurers calm and prevent a full-scale shutdown. This is the dirty secret of Hollywood. The health of the star is secondary to the financial health of the production. This brings us to the most telling piece of evidence in this entire affair, the charity event. Less than 24 hours after his brain was traumatized, Tom is standing on a red carpet, smiling. And next to him is Zendaya. To understand the significance of this, you have to understand who Zendaya is. She is not just Tom Holland's fiancée, she is one of the most powerful and intelligent brand managers in the entire entertainment industry. And the brand she manages most effectively is her own. She evolved from a Disney kid into an Emmy-awarding dramatic actress and a savvy producer. Her career is a testament to calculated, brilliant choices. She exudes control, elegance, and authenticity. Now, imagine you're her. You've built this incredible career and a beautiful relationship, both of which are now intertwined in the public eye. Then you get a call that your partner, the man you love, has been injured on set in a way that could affect his mind, his personality, the very essence of who he is. Your entire world tilts on its axis. The decision to appear at that event was not a simple one. It was, in my opinion, a move orchestrated out of necessity. They had to present a united front. They had to perform the role of the unbothered power couple to kill the story before it could spiral into a career-defining crisis. Look at the photos. Tom's smile doesn't quite reach his eyes, but Zendaya, she is a fortress. Her smile is a shield. Her posture, the way she angles herself protectively toward him, is a nonverbal declaration. She is managing the crisis in real time. But the clash here is profound. Her entire brand is built on being real, and in that moment she was forced to participate in something deeply inauthentic for the sake of the Hollywood machine. Can you imagine the conversations that night? The tension between the woman who loves him and wants to wrap him in blankets in a dark room, and the industry titan who knows that a single sign of weakness could cost them millions in future earnings and opportunities? This incident didn't just test their relationship, it threw it into the heart of a corporate inferno. To truly grasp why Tom Holland would put himself in this position, we have to look at his psychology. This is not a man who stumbled into acting. He has been training for this in his entire life. His father is a comedian, his family is steeped in the arts. He attended the prestigious Brit School in London, a factory for future stars like Adele and Amy Winehouse. Before that, he was Billy Elliot on the West End, performing 8 shows a week in one of the most physically demanding child roles ever created. Think about that. From the age of 12, his body was his instrument and his ticket to success. He learned early on that pushing through pain, that delivering a flawless physical performance was the source of praise and validation. This isn't arrogance, it's a deeply ingrained work ethic that has been forged over 2 decades of intense pressure. When he says he wants to do his own stunts, it's not just about ego. It comes from the mindset of a dancer and a gymnast. If my body can do it, I should be the one to do it. It's what he believes makes his performance authentic. But that childhood training didn't prepare him for the stakes of a blockbuster film set, where the equipment is heavier, the heights are greater, and the margin for error is 0. This accident is a brutal collision between his lifelong dedication to physical performance and the unforgiving reality of high-risk filmmaking. And that reality is a dark one. The history of Hollywood is littered with on-set tragedies that were brushed aside. We remember the big ones like Brandon Lee's death on The Crow or the the fatal helicopter crash on Twilight Zone the movie. But for every headline-grabbing tragedy, there are thousands of career-ending injuries that are settled quietly out of court. Stunt performers are the backbone of the action genre, yet they are still fighting for recognition from the Academy Awards. They risk their lives and bodies daily, often under pressure from directors to create ever more spectacular and dangerous sequences. Tom Holland, by doing his own stunts, places himself in this dangerous world, but with the added pressure of being the irreplaceable star. A stuntman breaks his leg, he's replaced. Tom Holland gets a concussion, and a $250 million movie hangs in the balance. This system creates an environment where admitting the true severity of an injury is seen as a weakness that can derail hundreds of careers. It's a culture of silence, and Tom is now at the very center of it. Finally, let's look at the curse. It's not a supernatural hex, it's a pattern of a character and a franchise that is simply too big and too demanding. We talked about Tobey's back and Andrew's spirit, but it's even bigger than that. Look at the directors. Sam Raimi was so creatively exhausted and beaten down by studio interference on Spider-Man 3 that he walked away from the franchise. Mark Webb's The Amazing Spider-Man films were so mangled by Sony's desperate attempts to build a cinematic universe that his career took a major hit. The character of Spider-Man has been rebooted 3 times in less than 2 decades. The franchise is a golden goose that is constantly being squeezed to the point of collapse. Tom Holland wasn't just an